Are we going to move again when they perform?
Now I know why.
When are they performing? Beginning? Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't. We got what we got.
We're 1 minute out.
All right, gavel this meeting. Let's go. Yep. You ready? All right.
We'll call the regular meeting of December 17th, 2024 to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Where are we at? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thought that was that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Douglas?
Here.
Ms. Hayes? Mr. Horvath?
Here.
Mrs. Sensi?
Here.
And Mr. Thompson?
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we have several special presentations tonight, so we're going to move all of these things to the front of the meeting. The first is our annual mini performance by our show choir and a quintet of our band members this evening. So let's take our seats up front and let's enjoy a few songs of the season.
joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, merry, 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 is on. Ding, merry, 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 is on. Don't understand, don't understand their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, 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 dong. Ding, 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 dong. Dawn and they said, dawn without end, their joyful tone to every home. Dawn and they said, dawn without end, their joyful tone to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
Thank you very much. These kids have had a busy 2 weeks because of the 5 snow days that we had from the lake effect snowstorm. They have been going to all sorts of various places, nursing homes, regular concerts. They have just worked so hard in the last 2 weeks, so we really appreciate you being here tonight. And I have a special thank you to the various groups that performed. And Ms. Hayes, she works in a private nursing facility, and I know our show choir was there just last week, and she raved about all of you, and she raved about the band who had been there earlier in the year. So we thank you for all the community outreach you do as well. Have a very happy holidays. I'm going to read the resolution, have them come up.
Okay, so you
I've got the resolution on my agenda. So we have golf first?
Yeah.
All right, well, we have several other very special presentations this evening to recognize our fall sports teams, and we have one team from last spring that we wanted to bring back to recognize. And while we know that there's a lot of students that are in other sports activities, and like we said, making up for all the different events that were canceled during those 5 days after Thanksgiving, we do have coaches here and some team members, and I'll do one resolution at a time. Have them come up, and if you want to just do a motion, we could do a motion, and then let's do it that way. It's always awkward when we do these teams for the first time. Do a motion, second, approve the resolutions, and then I'll read them. Is that all right?
One?
Yeah.
Separate
Yeah.
for each one.
Yep. So we need a motion to adopt the following resolutions.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, the first up is our golf team, whereas the Madison High School boys golf team consisting of Ben Amos, Logan Mullins, Evan Smith, Mason Elliott, Blake Lawson, Brady Ellsworth, Easton Washlock, Jacob Picard, Zach Bosworth, and Jude Ebershaw had an outstanding season. And whereas the team placed second in the CVC Lake Division, and whereas the Madison Boys Schools golf team's achievements is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them, but their coaches Pat Moran and Nick Guston, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School boys golf team. Do I have members of the golf team here this evening to accept the master resolution and resolutions on behalf of their team? Oh, and we're going to ask that if you're here, you come down, shake everybody's hand. Thank you. Congratulations. And if you're the official representative, you make sure your teammates get those resolutions, right? All right. Next up, we have the girls' golf team. Whereas the Madison High School girls' golf team, consisting of Jocelyn Bancroft, Charlize LaRiche, Addison Beam, Megan Amos, Delaney Haydock, Natalie Galindo, Adeline Gaber, and Kendall Thomas had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed third in the CVC Lake Division, whereas the Madison High School's girls golf team's achievements is a source of pride and accomplishments not only to them, but their coaches, Bert Savon and B.J. Tittman, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School girls golf team.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next up is girls tennis, and we will say that when we're done with all these resolutions, there are cookies and water before you depart, before we finish our business meeting, all right? Whereas the Madison High School girls tennis team, consisting of Gabby Montez, Ivana Stark, Anna Cook, Karen Galindo, Chima Gilbert, Brooklyn Chapman, Samantha Kovacic, Evelyn Beal, Ella Purvis, Brooke Lynn, Marky Steele, Lucille Pitzinger, Alina Rossi, Daniel Getch, and Molly Leonard had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed second in the Lake Division of the CVC and had one district qualifier, and whereas the Madison High School girls tennis team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them, but their coaches, Keith Brainerd and David Nagan, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School girls tennis team. Whereas the Madison High School boys cross-country team, consisting of Alex Koloff, Max Koloff, Isaiah Seiler, Danny Frager, Asher Elkins, Owen Botar, Carter Langtree, Tyler Cameron, Demetrius Compton, Cade Tarr, Daniel Cataret, Ben Koloff, Paul Cook, Robert Starkey, Owen Mace, and Levi Mace had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed second in the Lake Division of the CVC, and Owen Botar was a district qualifier, and whereas the Madison High School boys cross-country team's achievements is a source of pride, accomplishments not only to them, but their coaches Jeremy Verdi and Braden White, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School boys cross-country team. right, girls cross is next. Whereas the Madison High School girls cross country team consisting of Catherine Kovacs, Sydney Pike, Cora Radulovic, Valerie Acuna, Hannah Carroll, Quinn Paul, Savannah Rodenhausen, Tess Canfield, Charlotte Cicero, Abigail Kovacs, Jonalyn Leakin, Kira Madalano, Elizabeth Carroll, and Ellie Langtree had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed fourth in the Lake Division of the CVC, and whereas the Madison High School girls cross-country team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishments, not only to them but their coaches, Becky Barton and Sharon Alcantor, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School girls cross-country team. Next up, volleyball. Whereas the Madison High School volleyball team consisting of Elena Prokop, Gracie Kless, Olivia Miller, Allie Hurst, Giovanni Didante, Amara Moran, Allison Nagan, Shay Roby, Callie Hughes, Jaden Zapata, Kendra Smith, Tori Semple, Leah Brock, Kaylee Jones, Carly Schwartz, Natalie Best, Nicole Montgomery, Kate Bertram, Cammie Tippman, Jordan Verdi, Alyssa Reiner, Chloe Blair, Brianna Butler, and Cheyenne Queen had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed fourth in the Lake Division of the CVC and went 1-1 in the OHSS sectional tournament, and whereas the Madison High School volleyball team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them, but their coaches Amanda Tippman Mitchell, Dominic Nicholas, Nicole Best, Leah Radabaugh, their families and school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commend and applause the Madison High School volleyball team. We will make sure they get their certificates. Whereas, next up soccer, the Madison High School boys soccer team consisting of Owen Pastor, Caden Martin, Max Swinarski, Hir Patel, Aiden Pastor, Gabriel Swinarski, Jaden Lander, Jay Dewey, Andrew Jeschling, Caleb Askew, Paul Cook, Chase Buckius, Josh Pekar, Brady Johnson, Logan Reed, Nick Swinarski, Brandon Rydell, Zach Horvath, Lyndon Blake, Travis Heights, Lincoln Blake, and Owen Hall had an outstanding season. And whereas the team finished their season as champions of the Lake Division of the CVC for the second year in a row, were undefeated in the CVC and had a 1-1 record in the OHSSA playoffs. And whereas the Madison High School boys soccer team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them, but their coaches Steve Swinarski, Jeff Hull, Paul Cook, and Andrew Resnick, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved, the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School boys soccer team.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good job.
See you next year.
That's what you want to hear. Doing it again next year.
All right, we have two more. Next one is the football team. Whereas the Madison High School football team consisting of Tyler Alley, Max Steele, Will Smith, Dominic Magda, Joey Fiorito, Will Rando Jr., Nolan Albert, Dominic Lawrence, Ben Amos, Peyton Berman, Patrick Clark, Mason Nusker, Ethan Kujala, Cameron Wilson, James Poe, Lyndon Goglin, Noah Wergla, Dakota Oftenberg, Chase White, Alexander Davis, Scott Malik, Dominic Rodenheaver, Anthony Telenko, Dale March, Nathan Henderson, Callister McCrone, Bryce Flender, Jimmy Miller, Jacob Yutke, Joey Bergen, Tommy Beaver, Jacob Bergen, Justin Phillips, Luke Young, John Garbeloff, Andrew Covert, John Delajanis, Gavin Montagner, Josh Lazuka, Kellen Schwartz, Kyle Rock, Ethan Toth, Tristan Shahan, Joey Bosworth, Hunter Griffin, Jackson George, Jacob Lanning, Michael Suchevich, Leland Scheel, Brayton Batty, Cameron Mullen, Ryan Redkowski, Nathaniel Jones, Gavin Mayfield, and Shannon Kraft had an outstanding season, and whereas the team placed second in the Lake Division of the CVC and lost in the first round playoffs, first round of the OHSSA playoffs, and whereas Alexander Davis was named Offensive Player of the Year, and whereas the Madison High School football team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them but their coaches, Mike Gilligan, Brian Kramer, Mike Martin, John Maribel, Kurt Smith, Joe Chickaro, John O'Brien, and Harry Delajanis, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School football team.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, this next one is a rather special presentation for our boys' baseball team, and we wanted to make sure we honored them for some pretty significant achievements from last spring. Whereas the Madison High School 2023-24 baseball team, consisting of Nolan Albert, Alexander Davis, Ben Amos, Brady Bonkala, Eddie Gavorva, Jack Harrison, Brandon Kristoff, Dominic Lawrence, Seth Nagan, Evan Smith, Nolan Thomas, Landon Tomko, Nathan Yarnell, Jacob Bergen, Brent Champman, Jack Collins, Joey Dodick, Mason Elliott, Braylon Fitch, Owen Hall, Connor McCollum, Logan Mullins, Adam Naso, Gavin Petrowski, Daniel Schultz, Brendan Tittman, and Dominic Wagner had an outstanding season, and whereas the team was the CVC Lake Division champions of 2024, which was the school's first baseball title in over 20 years. I think that needs a round of applause.
Yeah, I think so too.
Whereas Eddie Gorva was named Player of the Year, and Coach B.J. Tittman was named Coach of the Year. Another round of applause.
Nice.
Whereas the Madison High School baseball team's achievement is a source of pride and accomplishment not only to them, but their coaches, B.J. Tittman and Shane Hamilton, their families and their school, but to our entire community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Local Board of Education commends and applauds the Madison High School 23-24 baseball team.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Congratulations again. Outstanding. Outstanding. Nice job.
Thanks for coming, guys.
All right, at this time, if we take a brief recess to allow our students to get some cookies and waters, they do not have to stay for the rest of the board meeting because I'm sure they're very busy and have things they want to do. So let's take about 5 minutes and let them attack the cookies and the water.
Brief recess.
right.
I will come out
It's
of
up to you.
recess.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 19th, 2024?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We have anyone wishing to give a board member report this evening? All right, we do not have anyone registered for public participation, so we will move to reports and recommendations of the treasurer.
Thank you. First, I would like to recommend the approval of the financial statements for November of 2024.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi?
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I would like to recommend the approval of the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. This is a resolution we have on every year this time of the year, and it's just in an effort to get to the Budget Commission, and it's just stating our current millage rates. It's not having to do with any type of new levy or anything of that sort.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Missionaries from Mentor Rotary Club to South Elementary School to be given to third grade students. A generous donation of a Christmas wreath from Madison Garden Club to North Elementary School to be displayed during the holidays. A generous donation of $1,500 from Madison Booster Club to Madison Middle School to be used for Santa Streaks. A generous donation of $5,000 from American Legion North Madison Memorial Post 601 to Madison local schools to be purchased to purchase a Huddle camera equipment and software for Madison High School. A generous donation of $300 from Ricky Peterson to Madison Middle School to be used for Santa Streaks. A generous donation of $2,200 from Vistra Perry Power Plant to Madison Middle School to be used for their outdoor classroom and greenhouse.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you very much for those who donated. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes. And that concludes my treasurer's report for this evening.
Thank you. Reports of the administrative team?
Since we had most of the presentations this evening, we are going to be very brief in our report. But first, I do want to thank everybody again for the music, our band and choir. They've been really taxed the last couple weeks with various programs, and to have these kids come out tonight and perform was just absolutely very special. And I'm not going to lie, I teared up as I watched them for this last time at the holiday season. It's really special to me. I do want to give a correction. One of the young men from the baseball team said it's been 44 years from the title, so they will get a new resolution with 44 years on the title. But that's still quite an accomplishment no matter what, and I'm glad we were able to honor that team and their coaches. Next up, we do have just a reminder that we will have the organizational meeting on January 14th, then followed by the regular board meeting for the month of January on January 14th as well. That one will be happening no matter what the weather, because it has to be done within the first 15 days of the calendar year. So that is by law.
I have four-wheel drive if anyone needs me.
And with the lake still not frozen and it could be cold, you never know what's going to happen. I do want to also commend our maintenance staff, our township crews, our village crews. We really had quite the situation here in Madison during that week after Thanksgiving when the lake just did not turn off. And we had, so many people. Our custodial team came in to help clear sidewalks on days that they weren't supposed to report to work. We had, constant communication with our road crews. And as you know, and as I explained to the community, when you get 4 feet of snow on some of those really teeny tiny streets up north, you're not going to get a bus down it. And so we needed to, make sure that that snow was either going to be melted or we had alternative plans. Well, Mother Nature did cooperate so that we were able to open on Monday the 9th, and hopefully we will be able to finish on Friday without any issues. But again, it's worth thanking all those people for all their efforts. Pat Smith was working tirelessly that week, along with Greg and Joey, and then our outside crews that we have to hire to supplement. I do also want to just put out there the meeting dates that have been scheduled for the community meetings for the superintendent search and where we're at with that work. Wednesday, January 8th will be the first one, and I will put this in an update on Friday for all of you. 11 a.m. at the Senior Center. We are then going to do a business one at the Madison Public Library, and this is going to be led by Dan Wilson and his ESC team, of course. 3:30 p.m. on the 8th, administrators at the Board of Education and any Board of Education groups, people that work at the board. 6 o'clock, community groups, parents, PTO, booster groups at Madison Public Library. Thursday, January 9th at 2 will be township and village officials, and at 3:30, teachers and classified staff here at the high school. Township and village officials will do at the board office. All right, and I want to thank my assistant Susan for helping to coordinate all those meetings for Dan Wilson and the ESC. And
I
ensuring
just want to point out that these meetings that we're having with the community is so that they can provide input into the qualities they would like to see in a superintendent. The board members will not be in attendance for those meetings. They'll be run by the Educational Services Center. This is an opportunity for the community to give their input directly to the Educational Services Center, who is assisting the board in the search.
Thank you. One last thing to go back to the snow days. I do want to thank Kim Boggs from CBS, because one of our alternative plans was going to have to come up with doing some rerouting for students so that we could get them here to school safely. And she worked over 2 days on that plan until the snow decided to melt. And we didn't need to use the plan. But now we have a plan if that happens again. Hopefully it doesn't. And I think that's all we have this evening.
Yes.
Okay. Ready for the recommendations?
Yes.
Okay. We're asking you to accept the following resignations: to accept the resignation of Tiffany Warner, Madison Pre-K Assistant, effective December 3rd, to accept the resignation of Constant Buchanan, North Elementary Special Needs Aide, effective November 26, 2024, to accept with regret the retirement resignation of Kathy Gould, South Elementary Secretary, effective June 17th, 2025, after 34 years of service to the district. We're asking you to accept the following enter into the following employment contracts: the following people as casual day-to-day substitutes, and Constant Buchanan, and ending with Alicia Kitchen, to add each of the following substitute teachers as approved by the Educational Service Center of the Western Reserve and/or Madison Local School District's Assistant Superintendent under a 1-year limited substitute teacher contract for the 2024-25 school year, beginning with Constant Buchanan and ending with Eric Troon, to employ Alexis Armstrong as a building substitute at South Elementary effective January 7th, 2025, and to employ the following person under a 1-year limited preschool instructor at the hourly rate and compensation listed below. Lauren Markey, $35 per hour.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, the next is a board policy update, and this is quite a lengthy update from our Neola. We begin with definitions, and we are ending with property inventory. This is just a first reading, so they were attached to your newsletter on Friday. If you have questions, again, between meetings, please let us know, and we will clarify them. But almost all of these are updates from Neola, and all pretty much mandatory things.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, next up is the consent calendar. We have a few items on that. The first is to approve a contract between the Environmental Analysis and Management Group and Madison Local Schools to provide a 3-year reinspection of buildings at a cost not to exceed $67.80 pursuant to the agreement on file at the board office, and this is for asbestos removal, or asbestos to assess it, and that's a mandatory thing through the state. To approve the following volunteer coaches for the 2024-25 school year: Michaela Hurst swimming, Max Ungers boys basketball, and to approve an overnight trip for the Madison High School basketball to Warren Howland, December 20th to 21st at no cost to the athletes. To approve an overnight trip for the Madison High School wrestling to Hudson, Ohio, December 20th to 21st, and to Oregon, Ohio, January 17th to 18th at no cost to the athletes.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? So again, on the asbestos, this is not saying that we believe we have asbestos. We're just required to do this assessment by
Correct.
the state, so we're doing it as a precaution. Roll call, please.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So we do have need for an executive session. Do we have a motion to move into executive session for matters required to be kept confidential by federal law, rules, or state statutes?
I'll move.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Sensi,
Yes.
Mr. Horvath,
Yes.
and Mr. Douglas.
Yes. We will not be conducting any business. When we return, we'll simply be adjourning the meeting. We stand in recess.